Okay, I'm gonna back off because I just saw something really cool. I'm in here and I'm checking a camera. Not what I wanted to do. Yeah, there's stuff on here. All right, we got some rain recently. Well, we didn't. Rain went like everywhere around us, but that's how the monsoon is. Sometimes here it's the monsoon that is really the non-soon, where you have lightning all around you, moisture everywhere, but it doesn't land everywhere. And it's this really interesting situation that happens out here where there are places where even in an active monsoon season, certain places just don't get any rain for a year or more. And it's real spotty and it's really interesting. So I'm looking for any place that this moisture at all has positively maybe affected with snake activity. I'm gonna head out tonight and check out some new spots and see what there is to learn. Taking some notes from a video we put up recently that is just a raw video where I just, let's see what happens, push record and go do some field work, and whatever happens, happens, and record it. Got some really good feedback on it. We're trying new things all the time and trying to do more new things. So what we heard is basically, come on road, yeah, I'm gonna have to grade this road at some point. What we heard is that, yeah, 2 hours with only finding one snake is probably a little, little boring, just watching me yap while walking around in the dark. So I think we're gonna try a couple different things. I'm still gonna record it. Probably a lot of me yapping in the dark again, but maybe a little more emphasis on the snakes when we find them. When we find one, I'm gonna try to show it off a little better, maybe get some better video of it and talk about it. And then also, maybe this doesn't see the light of day if we don't see anything. So maybe there's some magic ratio there to where the number of snakes found per hour needs to, demand a little bit of editing in there too. So we'll try it out and see if we can learn. So please let us know if this is something that you like seeing, if there's something that you wish you saw more of, if there's something you learned or didn't, or if you hate it. Yeah, tell us, because that's kind of what we're trying to do, is integrate the stuff that we do all the time anyway and try to make it something that is entertaining or educational. Okay, I'm in here and I'm checking a camera. Yeah, there's stuff on here. Part of me wants to grab this camera card now. Yeah, I might do that. Let's see. So in this hole, there's a couple of tortoises, at least, a few diamondbacks, at least, and sometimes a Gila monster. So it's a really important spot. And last year I got some good stuff out of here. So by get some good stuff out of here, I don't mean taking it. I mean, I got some really interesting video and photos of multiple species of animals coming and going. So it's pretty cool. And I got something to check out when I get home. I'm really glad I swapped to these different cameras too. Those other ones were letting me down a lot. This is a SpyPoint Force Pro S2, which is good with solar, and I can charge this up and leave it here basically indefinitely, as long as I have camera card, and it'll work. So that's cool. Let's set it up again. See what else we can learn in here. These multi-species dens are really important and interesting because, well, you learn many things that a lot of people can think would be enemies actually live together just fine. So I'm gonna put that here, and then I'm gonna see if anybody's in here or not. Make sure I don't put my head on a rattlesnake here. Tortoise. Is that it? Maybe just one tortoise. I guess we'll find out with the camera. This is not actually my objective tonight. It's just a cool spot on the way. It's where I want to go check out. I've been in this wash a lot, so I might just hop up to the trail and book out to where I want to go. Camera's right there. Gonna stay right there and keep getting footage. And hopefully no one ever sees it. I mean, sees the camera. I'm sure if I walked around down here, I might find more Diamondbacks, but yeah, what the hell, maybe I will. I'll walk down here. Why not? I'm not in a hurry. I have all the time I need to get to where I want to go. So maybe we'll see a couple of bonus snakes down here. See, look at that. You can see there's a track. Oh, there's a Diamondback right there too. So clearly right here in the dirt you can see that there's a track, and then there's a Diamondback and a Tortoise right there. So it's been a relatively cooler day today, which is nice. So the snake is sitting a little bit further out than normally would. Oh, not what I wanted to do, but certainly a risk. And she's okay. She doesn't see a lot of people. I think that snake might be actually gravid. And then there's a tortoise right there too. So I'm gonna have to get some notes on this. Well, that's cool. But yeah, you can see right here, there's this track coming down here from the snake. That's the first thing I saw before I saw the snake. You see a hole like this on the north facing side of the wash. You're pretty much gonna see a snake though. I get some notes. Turn the camera off for that. It's not that I don't trust you. I don't trust someone else. Not you. Somebody else that's watching this. I don't want the coordinates of this place. So I'm gonna turn it off for a second. Okay, back to it. So normally it should be, 10 degrees plus warmer than it is right now, but this moisture has been nice and stuff is kind of, even if it's not going to rain, they don't know that because the indicators are that it should. You got the barometer and everything, humidity is all saying that rain is very possible right now, and the snakes seem to know this, so they might show up more on the surface, or at least closer to the entrances of their estivation burrows, and that way they're detectable. The only thing I don't like about some of these washes, though, when it's still daytime, is that the bees can be pretty dangerous. Far more dangerous than the snakes. So even at these nice conditions and it not being too hot out right now or anything, most of the snakes are still going to just wait until dark to come out. A good little side mission here would be to see if I can find some other pregnant females, so that, who knows, maybe I'll get some birthing on camera. In fact, I should come back and put a camera on the one that I just saw, even though it's just a little ways away. That'd be pretty cool. Get a wild snake giving birth. I think everybody would like that, even, well, people that don't like snakes probably wouldn't like it, but they'll still look at it. Well, check this out. There's another little diamondback coming out right there. And I heard this one. And it's not rattling at me. What I heard was like a little priming. So if they're going to rattle, or if they think they might need to rattle, if they see a predator or something, sometimes they'll send this, like, it's like clenching a fist. They'll tense the muscle up around the rattle so they can make that twitch action that makes the rattle go off if they need to. And that priming, there you go, that priming makes this little barely audible click. It's one little click of that rattle. And if you've heard it enough times, it sounds like nothing else. So before I knew the snake was here, I was walking alongside of it. I heard that little click. It's kind of a good sign. Everything seems to be coming out. I didn't walk very far. I'm only a pretty short distance from where I just saw the last one too. So I was walking a little bit fast. I admit I wasn't looking very thoroughly because I am trying to actually get somewhere else. I've seen a lot of these snakes before. Oh, okay. So he's even leading me to where he estivates. This is where the snake lives. And there's probably others, so I gotta really watch out here. See, he retreated and went straight to it. Didn't go into the nearest cover. Went to his home. Anybody else in here? I wouldn't know it. There's a big pack rat nest there, but I bet in an hour other stuff comes out of there. That is cool. So they're feeling it. They're like, oh, okay, this is this spot. This is a spot where multiple rattlesnakes and tortoises spend a lot of time. In fact, tortoises this year, because it was so dry, I believe, actually spent the winter here too. Normally they go up the hill to hibernate, but this year they stayed down here. Any snakes in here? Bunch of moths. No tortoises, no snakes. Fresh tortoise poop though, so he must be out and about. But I also gotta watch my step, because it means that there are rattlesnakes all over the place. What a good problem to have, huh? There's a tortoise right there too. Another one. Let me show you. See him right there? That's him. Gotta get a couple notes real fast. Clicking you off again. Okay, let's keep going. This kind of bummed me out that all these animals are probably expecting some rain that I know is not going to come, but you know, even just having higher humidity than normal can be life-sustaining if it means they can actually get out and kind of safely even spend a night out in ambush hunting without fear of desiccation. That's pretty great. Yeah, there's a beehive. I'm gonna move on past that. Switch lights. Wide beam for nighttime stuff. God, I get so distracted. I want to go and check out a new spot, but I'm in this really good habitat and I keep finding animals, so it's hard to just ignore it and bail for the unknown. But I think I'm going to compromise and just like hike fast. I think that's, if I see something, I see something, but I'm not going to spend too much time cruising up and down the sides looking for stuff. If it wants to jump out and volunteer itself, then by all means I will look at it. With this particular stretch, I've been spending a lot of time in the last year or two, so most of these animals I've already photographed or taken note of in some way, so it's still at least useful to come in and check the general health of the place. It's looking good. I mean, there's a lot of stuff moving in here. A lot of evidence of a really active estivation area. Usually I end up all cut up after this because a lot of these Palo Verde and other stuff gets pretty overgrown, and just pushing through it you get little cuts on your arms quite a bit, but at this point you barely even notice it. Little blood spots on all your shirts, you know, fun stuff. Alright, let's get it through here without stepping on anything. Listening. Sometimes I hear beehives, and that's the kind of thing you want to listen for here. And when you're in an area that has a lot of cars too around it and roads, they can sound a lot like one another. Beehive near you or a car in the distance sound pretty similar. And I do not like running into beehives. Very gentle breeze right now, which is nice. All that is it just says that there's a little bit of temperature change. It's a little tricky because sometimes I've seen diamondbacks here, but you can't really see very well. A Last year this grass was a lot higher because we had actual moisture in the spring. This year we had no moisture in the spring, so there's no grass. So snakes are easier to see, but they spend a lot more time hidden than they were before. Okay, I think I'm just going to go up to the trail and work out of here because I really want to get to the spot that I wanted to check out tonight. Sometimes stuff does come up here too, so it's not like it's without life. It's just a little less. And sometimes there's surprises. I haven't seen any blacktails yet on this mountain. I know they're here. I just haven't seen any, so changing up where I'm looking can do that sometimes, even if it's just to hurry up and travel a little faster. But I'm going to shut this off for a little bit. Turn it on when I get a little closer to where I'm going. Okay, I just skipped about a mile of exceptional habitat where there's probably a bunch of snakes so that I can try to go do new things in a new spot. This is actually a pretty decently sized preserve where I'm at. And I really haven't checked a lot of the potentially prime locations, or not during the acceptable seasons anyway. This is all stuff that I do with the Desert Foothills Land Trust. They do a lot of very good conservation work in the area around where I live. And that's one of the many outputs of Rattlesnake Solutions, is to provide information like this. So I can come out here and find animals and basically document what lives here and how it lives here, and get some information, get photographs, get that kind of thing. And then they have records of that then, so long after I'm gone, this preserve will still be here, but you know, after I'm not, at least we'll know what's here, or what was here. And there's other good stuff too, is that I've been able to take a lot of photographs and get videos and other cool stuff like that of the animals that are thriving because of their work to set aside these properties as wild spaces. So that can be really helpful when you're trying to do things like basically recruit people who care, do fundraising, all that kind of stuff, to have some good stories about the wildlife in an area and photos. You just look at a bush and know it's going to be one of those ones that hurts. Proactively grown ahead of time. That's what I was doing. All right. Here, we're going to check this stuff out. All this dense grass and stuff like that. Like, you can see that digging along the edge of that rock. Something uses it, probably a reptile. This all just seems like a really good spot for a big diamondback to hang out. Getting a little bit off course, but that's fine. This is one of those spots that I pinned earlier in the year as a potential estivation site. I just Haven't been here in the right time. The right time is right now. Just gonna check this little corner and then get out of here. Okay, I'm sure there isn't any on the surface here. I'm reasonably sure, but it really smells like water through here. Not like petrichor, like rare water, but like moss, algae. Water that sits for a while, so I'll walk along the base of this for a little bit before I pop back up on the trail. If I can, this might get socked in. Yeah, okay. Salt cedar. Probably all choked up with it. Not too bad. You can tell there's moisture as well, because as soon as you get down here, the temperature drops about 5 or 6 degrees quickly. Cattails, yeah, they're dead, but you can tell this definitely gets a lot more water. Big old salt cedar. Oh, I've been here before. One time I flipped a big garter snake underneath this mat. Big black neck. Oh shit. Let's see if there's anything there. Suddenly, this is a very different environment. Just like that, we're in like some full coverage, full canopy, cottonwood. Something moved. Probably javelina. I think I'd like to go back up to the main trail at some point here. I don't even know what's down here. I'm sure there's going to be some diamondbacks using it here and there. Looks like a good spot for blacktails. It's staying cool down here, definitely. There's a lot more moisture down here. Definitely. Just persistent cover everywhere. But I can't really go too far in it, so. And this bee is bothering me. So there's a hive around here somewhere. Okay, now I'm in a different drainage. Maybe, I don't know, a little over a mile away. And I've been in here one time, but during the daytime. It looked pretty cool. It looked kind of like a spot that might be good during the hotter months. I'm not going to do the full hike I did last time. That took several hours, but I did see a diamondback and a speckled last time. So who knows, maybe I will. Let's see how I feel. I always get this kind of like conditional energy when I'm doing this, where as long as I see a snake every so often at some interval, I have kind of limitless energy. But as soon as things die off for the night, it wanes. Just feeding off of that dopamine response I built up as a kid, looking for snakes. I've only been here once, so I don't know where all the beehives are, so we gotta really pay attention. I guess that's one potential downside about recording all this stuff, is that I'm yapping the whole time. Might make it a little harder to hear some of the critical stuff I need to. So in this area, there should be speckleds, tigers, diamondbacks, and blacktails are in here too. We kind of left a medium-sized mountain and are heading into a much larger system, so the prevalence of blacktails is going to be a lot more here. Doesn't mean they're down here though. It's actually kind of an interesting thing. My house is on the base of a very big mountain, biggest one you can see in the area, and I've only seen one blacktail there ever. It's a little juvenile after a really heavy thunderstorm. And that's kind of how they are. We very rarely get them at houses compared to some of the other species of snakes that seem to thrive around houses, like diamondbacks. Alright, come on, snakes. The geology in here is pretty different. There's a lot more of this really flaky schist through here and less caliche and sedimentary rock. This stuff is a lot better for speckleds. In fact, that might explain why I don't really see any in the other part of the preserve, because the geology more heavily favors diamondbacks. But schist is great. That's this like flaky, flat stuff like that. Stuff's all around my house. It tends to make caves really well because it breaks along an axis, it's a pretty stable axis, so anytime erosion happens, it immediately carves out these little flat caves and everything. So we have a lot of potential for really good estivation sites that are in this pretty otherwise solid rock formation. It's a big old tree here. It's not a massive tree, but for Arizona in this desert, it's a pretty big old mesquite. Look at that thing. Cool. No snakes in here though. Might be just something I need to spend more time in here figuring it out. It's a little harder to figure out because it's about an hour almost hike to get back here, so it's a little bit of a limiting factor, especially when I have other drainages that are really close that have lots of snakes in them. Sometimes these remote ones are the ones that have the coolest stuff. Because no one's back here messing with it. Except me. Someone's dumb. Someone's dumb enough to do it. Might as well be me. The only thing I don't like about some parts of Arizona, like the one I'm in, well, a lot of the West, I think in general, is that people don't often, well, some people I hear don't really understand the how public land works and private land and whatever else. They just see a flashlight out in the dark in a place they don't normally see it, and they assume it's gangs from Venezuela here to steal their car stereos or something. So that's how you end up getting shot at and fun stuff, which I've had happen in Arizona an unfortunate number of times. And never have I been trespassing or anything during the time. I'm always on public land, or I'm on land that I have permission to be on or something like that. But there's so much of this like Western John Wayne fantasy out here. A lot of these guys that are just sitting there waiting for their chance to finally be able to shoot a human. This might be looking a little better. Some more caves on the north side here, north facing side. They go nice and deep. So who knows if anything's going to use it or not. Actually, the rock faces here, there's just not many caves in it. I'm not sure why that would be. I think if it's just relatively recently exposed or something. I don't know. I'm not a geologist. Definitely one of those things I need to learn more about. I'm pretty awful at geology and botany, which are both pretty important aspects of this whole thing. That's probably where I am weakest as someone that does this for a job. I just have a hell of a time with plant botany because I bought a lot of books on it, Arizona native plants and that kind of thing, but one that seems to be the most recent and up-to-date with information uses as its pretty much lone method, its lone criteria diagnostic for any plant identification, blossoms, which means that I can identify plants for one month out of the year. And there's another one that's a lot better, but it seems to be pretty out of date. So what I've been doing is just taking photos of things, doing my best, putting them on like iNaturalist, and then answer's usually wrong. Take my scolding from the community and they give me the right answer. So that's fun because even though I do a lot with reptiles, if you go to my iNaturalist account, it's just me sucking at identifying plants. I almost never put reptiles in it. Okay, I'm going to back off because I just saw something really cool. There's a diamondback that just rattled at me, and there's an injured rodent right next to it. So I startled it. What it probably did was bite the rat, and then it's following it, waiting for it to die, and then I showed up and got in the way. So I'm just going to stay over here and let it resume. Hopefully it doesn't flee, and it resumes what it was doing. I'm going to take an opportunity here to take a little break and maybe get my camera out. Oh man, it'd be cool if I can get some shots of it eating. I'm just going to have to be really careful here. I'm going to give it 10 minutes and then I'll sneak over there and see if I can hopefully have not scared that snake away. I'm going to sneak back over there and just see. Oh, I see the snake. And the rat's dead. Okay, I'm leaving. I'm going to come back. Gonna give it a minute again. Okay, so that snake just ate a rodent, or killed a rodent. And I'm gonna have to wait for it to start eating it. It's not gonna want to leave it, so I'm not trying to disturb it. But I do want to get some photos of it. It's pretty cool to see this kind of predation event. The snake I don't think is going to leave. It's not going to leave that prey. It's just waiting for me to leave. So I'm going to do that again for a little while. And I'll sneak over there again with a camera. Okay, actually I'm going to try something. I'm going to try to sneak over there put this light. Maybe the snake won't see it as much, and I'm going to see if I can put the camera there and record this and just leave it and see if I can actually get if I sneak in here. I might be able to do this. There's the snake, there's the rat. Crazy, I can just get the camera now in the light. She just has no idea what's going on. Alright, I'm gonna back off and then I want you to go lead me where your babies are. This may or may not work, it depends, but alright, I'll be back. Okay, so she's not going anywhere, so I came up the hill a little bit and there's a little cave right here. There's not much of an opening, but it goes way back there. In fact, there was a tailless whip scorpion that was coming out of it, and they like caves. So there could be somewhere else around here, but this is right where she was at when, like she was just right here when I noticed her after she bit that rat. So there very well could be a bunch of babies in there. But if she's not wanting to move, I'm not going to sit around here for too much longer. I've been here for a while already. You don't want to stress her out. I might look around for just a minute, but Yeah, very, very likely there are baby rattlesnakes in this little teeny tiny hole right here. Just waiting for Mom to come home with her her hard-won food. I think I'm gonna keep on going, but that was pretty cool. It's about as cool as it gets out here. I'm just hiking out of here, and I got a bonus snake. This little female diamondback out here cruising around. It's so funny. I mean, people are so worried about these animals. Like, yeah, you can step on one and there can be problems with that. Sure. But people freak out about just the sight of them. And this is it. This is what a rattlesnake is. This is what they usually do. Normally you just walk past them. You don't even notice it. Like, she doesn't know what a light is. She's mostly just kind of curious about, well, what's going on, bird? She's just wanting to know what's going on. Oh, she decides she doesn't like it after I leave. Okay. Alright, well, I guess there's a good parting shot right there. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to run out of batteries sometime shortly here. Just running it that long took a lot of it, and I used the last of my backup batteries to charge up that light. So I got a long hike out of here, and if I see something else I'll show you, but I'm pretty content with that being the end of the evening. So I think with that I'm gonna maybe about an hour hike back to my car and get some of the best sleep you can get, which is going right to bed after a shower after a long desert night hike.